Good morning, dear student. Today we discuss the next important topic of our course CHI 330, that is catalyst. So, we have to study lot of about catalyst. So, let us see one by one what is catalyst. That is introduction to catalyst, what is its selectivity, what is its catalytic efficiency, what is the difference between homogeneous and heterogeneous catalyst. So all these points are covered into this topic. So let us see what is catalyst. So what is the role of catalyst in any reaction? Catalyst is any substance that increases the rate of reaction. So what is the function of catalyst? The first function or the first characteristic is that it increases the rate of reaction. It increases the rate of reaction. So it increases the rate of reaction of any chemical reaction. Second, it increases the rate of reaction by decreasing the energy of activation. So decreases the energy of activation. So the first function is it increases the rate of reaction. Second, it decreases the energy of activation. So what is this energy of activation? Energy of activation is nothing but a minimum amount of energy which is required to convert a reactant into the product. So the catalyst is reduce this energy of activation, and minimum energy is required to convert reactant into the product. Next important function of this catalyst is that it provide different path for the reaction, provide different path for reaction, provide different path for the reaction. Another important points, that is function or characteristics of this catalyst, it does not consume in chemical reaction. So not consume in chemical reaction, not consume in chemical reaction. So this is just introduction to the catalyst. Catalyst is any substance which increases the rate of any chemical reaction by reducing the energy of activation, providing different path for the reaction, and it is not consumed in the chemical reaction, or it is not react with your reactant. So let us see some important features of this catalyst. Important features of this catalyst. The first important features, so catalyst features. The first important feature of any catalyst is the catalytic efficiency. Catalytic efficiency. Catalytic efficiency. It is also known as the activity of catalyst. It is also known as the activity of catalyst. So the first important feature of catalyst is catalytic efficiency. As catalytic efficiency, as the rate of reaction is increases, the catalytic efficiency is also increases. So what is this catalytic efficiency? The catalytic efficiency, it is expressed. The first important point, the catalytic efficiency is expressed in terms of ton, that is ton, turnover frequency or turnover number. The catalytic efficiency of any catalyst is expressed in terms of ton, that is turnover number or turnover frequency, it is denoted by symbol capital N. It is denoted by symbol capital N, and it is the ratio, that is the number of product molecule formed to the concentration of catalyst. So what is this N or turnover number? Is the ratio of number of product molecule form, number of product molecule form to the concentration of catalyst, to the concentration of catalyst. So the catalytic efficiency is expressed in terms of turnover number. What is this turnover number? It is denoted by symbol capital N, which is equal to, that is the number of product molecule formed divided by the concentration of catalyst. So let us see a simple reaction for this catalytic efficiency. If we consider the reaction, that is a reactant R is converted into product in presence of catalyst Q. So R is your reactant, Q is your product, and P is your R is your reactant, Q is your catalyst, and P is your product. The rate of reaction, for this reaction, rate of reaction, that is reactant R is converted into product. So rate of reaction, which is equal to the concentration of product, the rate of formation of the rate of the reaction, which is equal to the concentration of product per unit time. So we can say that rate of reaction, which is equal to the rate of consumption, which is equal to the rate of formation of product. So we can say that for this reaction, rate of reaction, which is equal to dP by dt. So what is this catalytic efficiency? The catalytic efficiency expressed in terms of turnover number, and we already see the formula for turnover number, that is the number of product molecule formed divided by the concentration of catalyst. In other words, we can write turnover number, which is equal to the rate of reaction divided by the concentration of catalyst, because we already studied what is turnover number, the number of product molecule which is formed, and the number of product molecule which is formed is nothing but the rate of the reaction, that is reactant is converted into product with the help of catalyst. Therefore the turnover number is also written as the rate of reaction. It is the ratio of rate of reaction to the concentration of catalyst. From this equation we get turnover number, that is turnover number or turnover frequency is directly proportional to the rate of reaction, and it is inversely proportional to the concentration of catalyst, So from this equation we get these two terms, that is turnover number is directly proportional to the rate of reaction and it is inversely proportional to the concentration of catalyst. As the rate of reaction is increases, the turnover number is also increases. So as the rate of reaction is increases, the turnover number is increases. As turnover number is increases, the catalytic efficiency of any catalyst is also increases. That is, the catalyst is very active. So in other words, we can say that as a rate of reaction is increases, the turnover number is also increases. And second, turnover number is directly proportional to the catalytic efficiency. Turnover number is directly proportional to the catalytic efficiency, As the rate of reaction is increases, turnover number is increases. Turnover number is directly proportional to the catalytic efficiency. So turnover number is increases, the catalytic efficiency is also increases. So as catalytic efficiency is increases, the lifetime of catalyst is also increases. So the lifetime of catalyst is also increases. So this is the first feature, that is catalytic efficiency. It is expressed in terms of turnover number. Turnover number is directly proportional to the rate of reaction. As rate of reaction is increases, turnover number is increases. As turnover number, it is also directly proportional to the catalytic efficiency. As turnover number is increases, catalytic efficiency is also increases, and the lifetime of catalyst is also increases. Therefore, the catalytic efficiency is the important features of any catalyst. Let us see the second feature of this catalyst. Second feature of any catalyst. Second is the selectivity. Selectivity of catalyst. What is this selectivity? So in any reaction, if you have used a catalyst must be selective, means it will give a desired product which is we want. Okay, so selectivity is nothing but we get a desired product in presence of catalyst. So this selectivity is expressed, for example, first example if you see, that is the oxidation of alkenes in presence of silver as a catalyst. So first example, that is oxidation of alkene in presence of silver as a catalyst. So we get oxirane here. Here we get oxirane. So the first example for selectivity is oxidation of alkene. So oxidation of alkene undergo oxidation in presence of silver as a catalyst gives oxirane. So in presence of silver we get oxirane as a major product, and water and CO2 is the byproduct. So in absence of silver as a catalyst, we do not get oxirane as a major product. So this is the selectivity of catalyst. In presence of silver, we get this oxirane in large amount, while in absence of silver, we do not get this oxirane in large amount. So instead of we get a different product, this is called selectivity. This selectivity is expressed in different types. The selectivity, the first selectivity, that is chemoselectivity. So we have already studied this. What is this chemoselectivity? Then second, ratioselectivity. Then next, enantioselectivity. So in catalyst, you have to study this selectivity, that is chemoselectivity, ratioselectivity, and enantioselectivity. So let us see the first one, that is chemoselectivity. What is this chemoselectivity? Chemoselectivity is for selectivity for functional group. Selectivity for functional group. Selectivity for functional group. If two functional group is present, then which functional group undergo reaction? That is nothing but the chemoselectivity. Selectivity for a functional group. For example, if you take example, so this is your reactant. In this reactant, there is a two functional group. One is carbon-carbon double bond, and second is aldehyde, that is C double bond OH, which is undergo hydrogenation, reaction. hydrogenation reaction. We can write. Okay. Let us see the chemoselectivity. What is this chemoselectivity? Selectivity for functional group. So this is the example: double bond C double bond OH, which is on hydrogenation, gives different products. So we get three products. Okay, the first one is we get this. We get this, that is we get this. Second, we get this, and third, that is so this is get hydrogenated and this will remain as it is. So there is a chances of three product in this hydrogenation reaction for this reactor. So there is a two functional group, carbon carbon double bond, and one is aldehyde. So in first product both functional group get hydrogenated. In second only this aldehyde group get hydrogenated. In third only the carbon carbon double bond get hydrogenated. So in presence of catalyst, for example, if you use the catalyst, that is rhodium chloride triphenyl phosphine, then it will hydrogenate only this carbon carbon double bond. It will hydrogenate only this carbon carbon double bond, and we get only this product. This is called the selectivity of catalyst. So in presence of Wilkinson's catalyst, only carbon carbon double bond get reduced and the other product will not form. So in this case only carbon carbon double bond get reduced and other byproduct is not formed. This is called as chemoselectivity. Let us see the second, that is regioselectivity. Second, that is regioselectivity. So what is this regioselectivity? So chemoselectivity, selectivity for functional group. Regioselectivity, selectivity for different sites. Selectivity for sites. Selectivity for sites. So let us see example, that is this is the example. Here double bond is attached and it is also, it undergo hydroformylation reaction. It undergo hydroformylation reaction. So we know that in hydroformylation reaction there is a conversion of alkene into aldehyde with increasing carbon atom. So there is a conversion of this alkene, carbon carbon double bond, into aldehyde with increasing one carbon atom. So there is a chances of two product. One we get the linear aldehyde and second we get a branch aldehyde. So in this case we get two product. One is linear aldehyde and second is branch aldehyde. So let us consider this is carbon number 1, this is carbon number 2. So it undergo hydroformylation reaction to give a linear aldehyde and second is branch aldehyde. If you see the product, that is linear aldehyde. So what you get here, the bond is reduced and we get here C double bond OH. The carbon number is increased, that is 1, 2 and 3. So this is called linear aldehyde, and the possibility for second product is that we get a branch aldehyde, it is CH3 C double bond OH. Here it is also 3 carbon. So there is a possibility of two product for this hydroformylation reaction. Okay, so we get a linear product as well as we get a branch product, but in presence of dicobalt octacarbonyl, which is generally used for hydroformylation reaction, we get only this linear aldehyde. We get only this linear aldehyde. While another complex of rhodium, if it is used in this reaction, then we get this branch aldehyde. This is called ratioselectivity. This is ratioselectivity. Selectivity for sites. In presence of dicobalt octacarbonyl, we get linear aldehyde as a major product. In presence of rhodium as a catalyst, we get branch aldehyde as a major product. This is called a selectivity. It is known as ratioselectivity. So what is enantioselectivity and diastereoselectivity, we will see in next lecture. Thank you.